Hey, welcome back to Biggie Outdoor Radio. This segment is brought to you by Bruise Brothers on Highway X in Weston, just off Highway 29. They got fresh burger ground daily from Country Fresh Meats and awesome hand-cut fries with all the tasty seasonings to choose from. And you got to get down there and check out all the brews that they got to choose from as well. They got 35 beers on tap. If you haven't made your way over to Bruise Brothers yet, I would suggest you get on over there and check them out. I was just there the other day, and I had my favorite burger, which is the Kentucky Bourbon Burger. But they got a new one down there, and I can't remember what it's called, but it's a spicy one. It's their burger of the month. It's got like some hot cheeses and all that. Brandon, you'd love this one. It's got like a all kinds of hot sauces and hot cheeses. It's kind of a jalapeno type burger. This is going to be a good one for you. You're going to love it.
All right. I like those ones that burn you twice. Yep.
Yeah, this is the one on the way in and on the way out. Yeah, and again, you know, you can get all the different seasonings on their fries and stuff. If anybody that hasn't checked out Bruise Brothers yet, that is definitely the best burger that I've ever had anywhere, hands down.
And they even have root beer on tap.
They do. They got that. Is it the 1919 or I don't know what kind of root beer it is that they got over there. I think it's the 1919. It's really good stuff. So get on out there and check it out. And we are welcoming in our new stations that are just joining us. We've been talking about, Brandon, we've been talking about all kinds of stuff this morning. Wolves fishing off the docks. Pigs,
yeah,
which we got a lot more stuff to talk about now on those topics. And let's start out by talking about
fishing off of piers.
Yeah, fishing off the piers, because that's kind of catching a bad rap right now. There's a lot of people that are talking about dock fishing being responsible for these shark attacks, and
down in the Carolinas,
yeah. Last time we had talked, we were up to a third attack down in Daytona Beach. Or Daytona area someplace. And when we were headed to the hog hunt that we just were on, we were up to like 4 attacks that were in North Carolina. There were 4.
They already had a 7th attack.
A 7th one.
They have had a 7th attack on the Outer Banks in the Carolinas.
I knew that we were up to 6 by the time we came back.
They're at 7, and it was another kid.
Another kid.
You know, what I don't understand is, okay, why do you keep putting your kids in the water? I mean, they've got pictures on the social media sites here that they're showing some people were vacationing at Myrtle Beach, and they have a picture. You can see the shore in the picture, and then you can also see into the waves there right off ashore. I mean, these sharks are swimming. They've got 5 or 6 sharks in this picture swimming in a foot of water, 2 feet of water, if that. I mean, these things are coming right up in there. Why would you put your kids in the water to swim there? You know these sharks are all there. I mean, are you that ignorant that you would say, oh, well, it ain't going to happen to me?
These have to be people. These are our anti-hunters that are these are the group. I guarantee it, because you have got to be brain dead. And I'm going to go ahead and say it. You've got to be brain dead. You got to have a marble loose and be just in love with nature and say, oh, nature's not going to hurt me.
And the thing is okay, say these folks go on vacation down there, or maybe they're people that live there. If they live there, there's no way they don't know about it. You go on vacation there,
everybody has got to have heard
about
this.
Most people have done their research on where they're going to vacation. You know, they should know what's going on. And say that you, by some blind, dumb luck reason, don't know what's going on. When you get there, you think that the people are going to be talking about it. There's got to be signs up or something. I mean,
it's got to be in all the newspapers around there. They got to be hearing about it somehow.
Why would you get in the water? Why would you put your kids in the water?
You know,
I mean, I'm not going to get in the water. I'm darn sure not going to sit up on shore and say, yeah, Junior, go ahead, jump down in the water and cool off, and, you know.
By the time the second one happened,
they should close the beach.
They should have been getting smart about it. But, you know.
Why haven't they closed the beaches?
I don't know. It's just stupidity. It's stupidity.
I mean, this
They should
stuff-
arrest any parent that's dumb enough. And I guarantee you, there ain't been 100 in the bunch that's done this because.
Well, you know what? Here, what you just said. There is actually, it's a good thing you brought that up, because somewhere on the social media or whatever, I think it happened in Wisconsin. Some parents are getting fined for neglect because their child played in the yard for a half an hour or 45 minutes or whatever, unsupervised. How is it not neglect to put your kid in the water with sharks? Tell me that.
And the thing is this comes into a Facebook post that I made. I got these people, they're always complaining about, they get onto the shooting thing. Okay?
Yeah.
I went on there and I mean, I'm just kind of getting off track on the shark thing, but I went on and I said, look, you guys are complaining about the shootings and you're blaming guns and you're blaming flags and you're blaming all this kind of stuff. It's not the guns and the flags. It's your fault. It's all the people that are crying about this. Because it's all the liberals. It's your fault. Years ago, we used to get our butts whooped when we screwed up. I can remember being bad for a babysitter when my mom and dad were out of town, and knowing that when they were coming home, I was going to get my hind end whipped.
Yep.
I knew I was getting the belt.
Yeah.
And I knew that my butt was in trouble. And I can remember when I would screw up, fearing my dad coming home because I knew I was going to get my hind end lit up.
Bring back the belt.
And my dad used to get his butt lit up. And I'm glad to say you used to get your butt lit up.
Yeah.
That's why you are the way you are.
I used to get my butt lit up for stuff that my sister did.
I just wanted to keep you on your toes.
Well, yeah, you did it. Whew.
And I wanted you to keep her on her toes, see?
I don't think...
You were in charge of keeping her straight.
Well, I think that my sister is one that can't be tamed.
Well, we're not going to... That's a different show.
Yeah, yeah.
But, okay, so this is what I tell those folks. You came in and started cringing because we spanked our kids. Heck, I remember one time your sister throwing a fit, being totally naughty in a furniture store right down the road down here. And I took her by the arm and smacked her on the butt. It didn't even hurt. Didn't even really smack her that hard, but smacked her on the butt. And then took her outside, and these people stood there and looked at us like I just beat her with a 2x4. And that's society changing because they want us to put them in timeout. What in the world does your kid learn in timeout? They learn, oh, okay, I got to sit here for a little while and I go back to do the same dang thing. It didn't hurt. What did timeout hurt? Nothing. And then they learn that they can mouth off the cops and get away with it.
Yeah, let's be smart about it and record.
And let's every time a cop comes up to us and tells us something, we don't have to listen to him. We can mouth off to him and we can call him names. We can flip him off. We can spit in his face, and they can't do anything to us, and nothing happens. And then there's no punishment. There's no recourse. And now all of a sudden, these parents produce more kids that have no respect, and they run around with their pants hanging off, and they decide they're going to rebel against America and burn flags and step on them and run around and do whatever the heck they want to do. And then all of a sudden, let's blame the flags and let's blame the guns and let's blame everything else. But let's not blame the fact that we never disciplined this kid or his parents. It's no dang wonder they're shooting up schools and churches and doing whatever. And I'll tell you what, take the guns away from them. The idiot's going to take a knife or a machete or a hammer or drive his car through the dang place. He's going to kill people one way or the other, or he'll make a bomb. You know, the problem is the fact that we don't discipline anybody anymore. And we're running around with cameras making the cops afraid to do it. You know what? I don't really care what the cops do anymore. You know, when they run into these punks, these drug dealers, they should just shoot them on sight. I don't care. They should tase them until they crap their pants. I don't care. They should pull out their billy clubs and beat them within an inch of their lives. And if they die in the process, you know what? This is my opinion. You shouldn't have broke the law. You shouldn't be selling drugs to kids. You shouldn't be out there getting arrested 5 times. You shouldn't be a felon. And if you are, and somebody kills you in the process of arresting you, too bad, so sad. You're wasting our tax dollars and you're wasting our cops' time. Stop doing that and you won't run the risk of dying. Simple.
There you go.
It's simple. The risk of breaking the law is death. Pretty easy.
You have a wild look in your eye right now. That
Well, I'm so sick and tired of this.
Yeah.
And then these parents turn around and what do? They let their kids go swimming. It's the same dumbasses. Oops. It's the same dummies. I'll have to beep that out now. It's the same people, and they let their kids go swimming in the ocean with sharks. And now guess what? Let's blame it on the fishermen. It's got to be their fault.
Well, I'm taking off my belt here because you just broke the rules.
I know. I'm gonna have. Yeah. It's the same people, you know. And now what? Let's put our kids in the water, let them go swimming, and when they get bit by sharks, and then the one shark, well, we can keep letting them go swimming because it's not the shark's fault. Let's just keep blaming somebody else and keep putting the kids in the water. I don't know, Brandon. You know, it's like you can't teach these people anything.
Yeah.
Where's it going to stop? What I'd like to do is try to guess how many kids are going to end, or how many people are going to end up getting bit before this thing is over. But I guess we're going to have to take a break, but we'll come back and talk about that right after these messages. Hey, welcome back to Biggie Outdoor Radio. Brandon, we're back in here talking about the shark attacks. I guess, you know, we got a little bit wound up on that topic a little bit, but, you know, it's just common sense, and we seem to be lacking common sense. And you know, we got parents that are getting fines or getting their kids taken away because their kids are playing in the yard unsupervised, and that's because somebody's sticking their nose where it doesn't belong.
Yeah. Well, it's just getting worse and worse, you know. And on this shark thing and these attacks that are going on down there in the Outer Banks. Really, honestly, I don't understand why they don't close the beaches. Why haven't they closed the beaches? How many people are going to get bit, you know, and killed? I mean, I honestly don't know. I haven't done the research and seen if anybody's been killed
Why
yet.
do they need to close the beach?
You know, because they need to close the beach because the public is too dumb and brain dead to stay out of the water. Stay out of the water. Quit fishing off the pier for now. And just let them things go.
The way I look at it is, if you know what, if you're that dumb, you probably should be eaten anyway.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, and the thing is, okay, it's understandable if an adult is that brain dead that they're getting in the water. They know better. Why would you let your 6-year-old kid or your 7-year-old kid get in the water with all these sharks? You know, they don't know better.
I think what happens is
kids don't watch the news, and if they don't know any better and they're getting in the water,
if the kid gets bit because you were dumb enough to put him in the water, they should take the parent out and throw them right in. Yeah. Take them out in the boat, throw them in the water.
Yeah. You want to get back to shore? Swim for it. Fight for it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. And scratch them real good on the way in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let them bleed a little bit. Make them fight for it.
Yeah. I mean, that's
pretty brutal, you know, for me to say, but heck, why not?
Why not? I mean, they're that stupid. It's just, that's what we need to do. Is we need to get back to some old-fashioned Texas justice into some of this stuff. That's what this world really needs. Get rid of all this civil rights and this, I mean, not civil rights, I guess, but this human rights. That's what I'm looking for. This human rights, this, oh, we don't want to do that because it's not nice. The heck with being nice. It's time that people get a dose of reality. Give them a little bit of, you know, like I said, good old-fashioned Western, Old West justice. You know, you screw up, no firing squad, no gas chamber. Hang them.
Yeah. Where do you think this is going to stop? How many people do you think are going to get
bit?
Ripped apart by a shark before they do something about it? Obviously,
well, they're not going to really do anything
obviously
about it because the sharks are out there. Where eventually the sharks are just going to swim back out and goes either that or they're going to realize this is free lunch. And
obviously, the government's going to have to step in and do something. It's just like the morons fishing off the piers in Wisconsin that can't figure it out for themselves.
I'm going shark fishing. I can tell you that.
Well, yeah,
they're chumming them in for us out there.
Going to the pier, man. Yeah.
No, I'm going to go out there and hire me a captain and.
Why would you go? Why would you do that?
I guess
that's why they're fishing off the pier.
I can fish from shore.
They're fishing off the pier and they're fishing from shore because why would you pay a captain? Why would you pay for the boat fees and all that to go out there and do something you could do for free off land?
We could probably bow fish right there. I bet you we could get some good bow fishing.
I'll tell you what. From the picture I saw on the internet, you could.
That guy could have just big ones?
They were good enough for me. A shark is a shark. And I'll tell you right now that whoever's taking these pictures of these sharks right there on shore, if they're close enough to get a picture like that with their camera, you can get a good shot on them with a bow.
Huh.
But
I wonder what the laws are about bow fishing in North Carolina.
Hey, you know what? We should look that up. Yeah. But
next thing you know, we'll have a whole bunch of rednecks out there bow fishing.
Oh yeah.
For sharks off the coast of North Carolina. Not a bad idea. Let's check into that, everybody. If you're looking there for something to do, we can go down to North Carolina and catch us some sharks.
Well, let's see if it's legal first.
Yeah.
You know, we want to
check it out.
Make sure we're not getting into something. But boy, that would be fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that'd be a blast.
People are down there swimming and getting in the water with sharks, being a bunch of morons, and we're down
driving around with our four-wheel drives, driving in the surf, shooting sharks.
Oh man, be stacking them up like we did those hogs last weekend, huh?
Yeah, that's another story though. But
oh boy, yeah.
All them kids would be sitting there on the beach, and we'd be dragging sharks up there, stacking them up.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Right now, that's something they wouldn't forget. I bet you they wouldn't get in the water then if they saw people pulling sharks out of the water like that, left and right and left.
Didn't know they'd be over there yelling at us for killing the sharks.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
they'd be crying about us killing an apex predator, and you killed a shark. What's the matter with you? And then we'll gut it out and pull out some kid's arm.
Yeah. Here, were you looking for this, little Timmy? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here. Why don't? Oh man. The thing is like I'm afraid to really let loose on this because if I do, I'm going to start. We're just going to need a whole bunch of bleepers.
We already need one from last segment.
Oh, good Lord. Oh, my. This country is getting worse and worse. It really is. And
common sense is not so common.
All I can say is we've done it to ourselves. Yeah. Because we have allowed all this stuff to happen and go the direction
they've only had, is it just North Carolina now? You said 7 there. Have they had them anywhere else?
It said 7th shark attack on the Outer Banks. I don't know if they've been having them anywhere else or what, but...
Huh.
When is the last time we've had something like this? I mean, in that great of numbers.
You don't suppose these animals are starting to get even with us?
Such a short amount of time. Now, that's a whole nother deal there. I mean...
I told you about that movie, Zoo.
Man, oh man. You know, I just watched the movie Gray. The Gray with that Liam Neeson. You know
he's an anti-gun dude.
Is he?
Yeah, he's against guns.
How in the world?
All the movies he's in, and he's like this big hitman and this CIA guy and all the gun stuff he does, and he's an anti-gun activist. He's active in it.
Oh, man.
Can you believe that?
I thought he was like the new Chuck Norris and all
that. No, it totally blows me away. He's anti-gun all the way.
Man.
And he uses guns in every movie.
That's insane. I mean, he's one of them guys. You don't even have to say his name. All you got to do is just say that famous line from that first Taken movie. I don't know who you are.
Yeah.
But I have a very special set of skills.
Yeah.
I will find you, and I will kill you.
I don't know. I mean, he's famous by that movie, but I don't know.
He's anti-gun, huh?
Anti-gun.
Well, go figure. Hollywood, I hate you.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Hollywood produces a lot of weird stuff out of there. I don't know. That's why I'm saying we should give all of California right to China.
Take them.
So we lose a few redwoods.
We got trees in Wisconsin, man. We got trees and we got cows. And
Well, we lose a little oceanfront property. That's all right, whatever.
no, not really. No.
That'll break off eventually.
Yeah, let them float away. I realize how ignorant that sounds, but I mean, could you imagine?
Well, we could give them Hawaii, too.
Well,
Sweeten the pot. I mean, I know Hawaii's a nice place and all, but if that's what we got to do, it's what we got to do.
yeah, well,
You know? And Puerto Rico.
why do we have a state that's so darn far away?
It's so far away anyway. We might as well just give it to China. So we just need a passport when we go there to visit. What's the difference? It's like going to Panama,
customs,
or not Panama, to the Bahamas.
customs, the passport. That's the
So what?
difference.
So what? Yeah.
Okay, well,
So we just make that part of China. So we're going to Hawaii and China. Hawaii, China.
when you go to these other big oceanfront states and all that, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
if you have a shark attack or 2 shark attacks or whatever, they close the beach.
We're back on that.
Well, you know, I'm stuck on this whole shark thing. Why don't they close the beach? I don't understand it. Are they that hungry for the income?
The sharks are hungry.
Oh, I don't think they really are anymore, honestly. But I mean,
Oh,
are
yeah,
they that
they are.
hungry for the income and for the tourists and all that they don't want to
Didn't
close
you see the
beach?
movie Jaws? Don't
Oh.
you remember? They wouldn't close the beach because they didn't want anybody to, they needed the income, and it was summertime, and it's just the beginning of summer. We got all of July to go.
Oh man.
This could be a bloody summer.
Well, you know.
Hey, isn't there a song about that?
What?
Bloody Summer?
No, we could make one.
No, there is. I think the Beatles sing it.
Bloody Summer.
Well, it's a line in a song. I'm sure I heard that somewhere in a song. Bloody Summer. Something
Yeah.
Bloody Summer.
Just because you're sure you heard something.
I know I did. Yeah.
Look, man.
It's there. But see, you're too young to you wouldn't have even heard it.
It ain't even about being young.
Because my
man. It's
music
just,
is oldies to you. And I'm in the Bon Jovi day, and that's oldies.
I like Bon Jovi.
Oh.
I do. But whether it's there or not, I mean, it could have just as very easily been something you dreamt up in your head. You know, like, oh, that sounds like it's a lyric somewhere, and it probably is.
It could
Somewhere.
Maybe it's not. We'll look it up on the internet when we're done. We'll see.
Well, we find everything else on the internet, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Hey, who knows? Your next wife might be on the internet somewhere.
no. I'm married. This one's sticking around. I'm staying with this one.
Oh man, now I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
Yep.
This one's staying. I gotta make something work. I don't know how, but she can stand me. Can you believe that?
I can't even
Grumpy as I am, Cheryl can put up with me. Somehow she manages me. And I get really grumpy in the afternoon, and she just smiles and puts up with me.
I mean, you're really only grumpy in the afternoon and the morning.
Yeah, and a little bit in between.
Yeah. Oh man.
All right. You know what? Let's just go to a commercial and come back and change the subject. All right. We'll be right back. Yeah, welcome back to Biggie Outdoor Radio. Brandon, we were just discussing.
What were we discussing?
We were just discussing in the break. We were discussing FedEx.
Yeah.
We had some issues with that. I'm waiting on my my passport, which I had expedited. And anybody that's looking for a passport, if you're going to go overseas or whatever, and you need a hand, you give me a call. I will, or email me or Facebook me or whatever. I'll be glad to help you out and tell you how to go about getting that expedited. There is a service out there where you can get it in as quick as 3-4 days, actually. If you're planning a trip that's going to be coming up, you got to have an itinerary or a trip planned or something like that, or even if you have an emergency situation, you can get your passport really quick. So I had let mine expire because being the great planner and procrastinator that I am, I was getting ready to go on this trip to Africa, and my passport was getting old. So then I called up my expediting service and sent my passport off, and they did their job very well. They had it done overnight, and they FedExed it back to me overnighted 4 days ago. Still ain't here.
Oh, FedEx, they can't seem to get anything right, can they?
You know, when you go down the road, you see those FedEx trucks tipped over in the ditch, and you think, man,
I hope I didn't have
I
anything.
hope nothing was on my. I hope nothing of mine was on that truck. Yeah. Well, I called. I keep tracking it, and I keep looking, and it keeps saying it's in Memphis, Tennessee, and it hasn't moved. So I called them, and the first guy that I got online got on the phone. He got real quiet because for some reason I have this tone on the phone when I'm not happy.
Is it the same tone that has all the clients call me instead of you?
Oh, this was the worst tone.
Oh, well.
My wife was in the truck, Cheryl. There, she actually was looking out the window, and she wouldn't even look at me because she tried to stop me a few times. And then actually, this guy got off the phone. And he said, "Let me get my supervisor," because I told him I wanted to talk to his boss. So I got her on the line, and by the end, she was very quiet, and she was apologizing, and I really kind of felt bad a little bit at the end because I realized, you know, she didn't do it, but she kept telling me she was sorry and she would do all she could, and she was going to call me back. And I know she was dreading calling me back. And I looked at Cheryl and I said, "Do you think I was too hard on her?" And she looked at me, she goes, "I don't know, Big E. What do you think?"
That was a yes.
Yeah, my blood pressure was pretty high. And then I got on the phone with the online booking company that I use that I won't name because I will never use Expedia again. They were totally unwilling to help me postpone my ticket by a day and wanted to charge me $1,900 to do it. And when I called them back 10 minutes later, it was $2,600. And I asked to talk to a supervisor. Well, actually, no. They wanted to charge me $1,900 when I called back later, and it was the same thing. Then we asked to talk to a supervisor. The supervisor wanted $2,600. And they kept trying to tell me that it wasn't them. They don't charge any fees to do this. They even have it right in there that they charge no fees for cancellation or changes, that it's only what the airlines charge. So guess what? While that was on, I got on my cell phone and I called the airline direct. And the airline said, "BS. We don't charge anything. It's them." And I had the airline person on the phone. And Expedia handed me this line saying, no, we're not charging you anything. So I got on with Expedia and I said, "You know what? I'm done talking to you." I said, "I want to talk to somebody." She said, "Well, I'm a supervisor." And I said, "Let me tell you something. Somebody hired you. I want to talk to the person that hired you." So she got someone else on the line. But it took them 30 minutes to get somebody else on the line. They left us sit on. So in the meantime...
So that's why you didn't call me back yesterday?
Yep.
Oh.
So in the meantime, I called the airline again. And of course, when you call the airline, they say, "Look, you went through one of these outside agencies. You know, we can't really do anything," which is what usually happens. And I said, "Okay." So they gave me a number to call, and I called there, and of course that was closed. And I called back, and I said, "Listen, can I talk to a senior booking agent?" And I got a hold of a senior booking agent. And the senior booking agent at Lufthansa Airlines said, "Let me see what I can do." And my question to her was, I said, "Look, they want to charge me over $2,000. And I only paid $1,000 for this round trip ticket. They want to charge me $2,000 just to change it by one day, and I can't fly the situation I'm in." So I said, "How about if you just give me a really good deal on a one-way ticket, and I'll use my return trip ticket. And the senior booking agent said, well, she said, that sounds like a good idea. She said, and I would do that for you. I'll do everything I can. But she said, if the problem is, if you're not on the first leg of the flight going over, they automatically cancel your return trip. You can't be on a return flight from a round trip flight that you weren't on the first part of. She said, but I think I can do something here for you, but I'm not going to tell you what it is just yet, because she said, you sound like the kind of guy that could get kind of edgy if things don't quite go your way. So just let me check something here first. And I don't know how she got that out of me, because I was pretty nice to her, you know. And I said, okay, I'll wait. And she said, I think I can do something for you. So she did some stuff, and she goes, and I heard her under her breath, she goes, yes. She goes, all right, good. We're in good shape. And I said, well, what's that? She goes, well, I have special powers over what my rest of my booking agents have. And I can override some outside travel agents. And I happen to be able to override this one. And she named off about 5 other ones. And she said, I can take it out of their hands. And she said, there is a processing fee of $300 and some taxes and things like that. And it ended up costing me a small percentage of what these guys were trying to charge me. And I changed my ticket. So yes, they were trying to screw me.
Oh, man.
And I was not happy. But I got my plane ticket changed, which I had to because I have to wait for this FedEx package to get here, which has been taken now 4 days for an overnight package.
And your plane leaves?
Tonight.
Tonight.
10:30.
And you have to leave here by what time to get there?
I'll probably leave here about 3:30.
And you think that this FedEx package is going to be here by then?
Oh, but now this is the other thing, because what did she call herself? Customer advocacy specialist.
And this is FedEx now?
FedEx, yeah. Her name is Lucille. Lucille, if you're listening, I hope you had a wonderful evening and slept well. After the wonderful conversations that we had.
Oh, boy.
I was pretty rough on her. She promised me that this thing was going to be here by 10:30 this morning. Now, this is what I told her. And all of you people out there listening in Big E land. This is the deal. This is what I said. If you have any common sense and you are managing a FedEx place and your planes cannot fly because of all rainstorms in Memphis, Tennessee, and the weather is too bad that you can't fly, yet commercial airlines are flying, by the way, but you can't fly. And there are packages there that are supposed to be overnighted, and you know that you're not going to be able to fly, and these storms are really bad. Wouldn't common sense tell you that you have semis running all over the world, and that UPS ground is going to be faster than UPS overnight, that you throw those containers into semis and get them to where they're supposed to go, UPS ground?
Why would FedEx use UPS?
I mean, FedEx ground, whatever, is what I meant. You run them by FedEx ground, because FedEx ground is faster. You got FedEx trucks all over the place. They're running all over. So rather than sitting there and waiting on the planes for 3 days, why did you not put this stuff in semis and trucks and deliver it ground? My stuff might not have been here overnight, and neither would have anybody else's that was on there, but it would have been there in 2 days. That's called common sense. Does anyone at FedEx have any prior military service and use any common sense and any problem-solving skills? Because this is just the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. What if somebody had perishables in that stuff? And that's what I asked her, and she said, well, I guess, sir, then they would just have to file a claim. That's her answer. Not, geez, I'm sorry that we would have ruined their stuff and it can't be replaced. Well, I guess, sir, then they would have to file a claim. I said, this is before I got a hold of Lufthansa people. I said, this is going to cost me, between the rental car that I've got right now, the flight and everything else, this is going to cost me probably $3,000. And if I don't lose a customer out of this, it could cost me even more. Who's going to pay for that? Well, I guess, sir, you'll just have to file a claim. What a great answer, huh?
I'd be filing a claim.
Yeah. I will be right back after these messages, but that's my dealing with FedEx over the last few hours. Hey, welcome back to Biggie Outdoor Radio. I'm going to take this time here to just talk a little bit about what Biggie Outdoors is all about again. Remind some of you folks, I mean, we're going to talk about this quite often, but Biggie Outdoors has put together an organization that was built on educating folks on the importance of hunters standing together and also the importance of family units hunting together in the outdoors. I have a show that's called Both Sides of the Fence, and we explained a little bit about that last week and what Both Sides of the Fence contains, hunting on ranches as well as hunting in open ranges, that we also show good places to hunt that are affordable and are implementing fair and ethical hunts, as well as providing what they say and what they advertise. So, they're not always going to be 5-star, lodges that are going to be multi-million-dollar lodges. Sometimes it could be tent camps and things that you have to follow the elk herds and things like that in a tent camp and pack up every 3 days. But we're going to tell you what to expect, and what we tell you is what you're going to find when you get there. So you won't go into a hunt blind. And the other thing is that we work with a lot of outfitters that encourage family units to stick together. And when I am talking about that, I mean that sometimes these hunters want to take along a loved one or family member, their spouse. Maybe a dad wants to take along a son that might not even be hunting yet, but just wants to go along to get into the sport. I have been out west many times and seen these outfitters out there want to charge $100 a day for 10, 11, 12-year-old kid to come along with a dad who was on a mule deer hunt. When they're staying in a cabin and the extra bed is already there or a cot's already there, and how much can this kid eat? $100 a day on a 7-day hunt or something like that, and some of these places are up to $200 a day for this kid to come along and watch his dad hunt is really ridiculous in my mind. This is the next generation of hunter. These are the people that we want to encourage to get into the sport. We want to encourage them to come along with dad. We want to encourage them to see what's going on, and they're also the future clients. You start charging that kind of money, it deters the hunter or the original client from bringing them along. So what we're trying to do is to encourage the folks that we're working with to allow these folks to be able to bring one along at no charge, and to be fair about it. So those are the kind of folks that we represent, and this kind of stuff that we kind of stand behind. And we have everything from alligator hunts to tarpon fishing to bear hunts out west, hunting up in British Columbia, moose hunts, red stag hunts in Argentina, New Zealand, and African hunts as well.
And most of these hunts and most of these destinations are very, very accommodating to families and to bringing non-hunting guests along with you at very, very reasonable prices, if not no charge at all, depending on the situation. So that is what the TV shows and the outfitter service is about. We also have the Biggie Outdoor Big Game Hunting Museum that is going to be opening up real soon. And that is also educational. And we're going to have quite a few animals on display down there from many different regions around the world. We're inviting folks to put animals on display. There's a lot of you out there in the listening area that have vast collections that nobody's getting to enjoy. So we're looking for some of these animals to be put into our displays from Africa, or from, if you've got a really unique mount that you'd like to put on display and let people enjoy. Nobody can get at them by the way we're setting this up. Nobody can be touching these things or wrecking them. And it will be noted on the display who put the animal on display or who donated it to us to use. And it'll be there for a period of time that you designate. You can leave it there as long as you want to, but you can come and pick it up. We can rotate these things in and out so that we constantly have a changing display. It's a good place for taxidermists to advertise their work, and they will be allowed to put their brochures up if they have stuff on display. So if you're looking for a place to get an animal mounted, you can always swing through here, take a look at the museum, and you will find a lot of local taxidermists that have things on display, and you can get a sneak peek at their work, pick up a brochure from them. Then you can make your decision on who you'd like to have do some stuff for you as well. It's also a good place for you to just get a peek at what there is to hunt around the world and know where to go and hunt. And it's something great for the kids to look at and learn a little bit about the animals, what they eat, what eats them, and just kind of get away and do something a little bit different than what's already out there and being offered. And we do have a small gift shop and things like that out there as well. And then in the back we do the hydrographics, where we can dip your shotgun stocks or your rifle stocks, and we can dip skulls, your European mounts, your lamps and light socket covers, and your helmets. Oh, just about anything you can think of. We can put a camouflage pattern, a carbon fiber pattern on it, dip your wheels, parts of your cars, things like that. So come on by and check us out, and you'll probably be quite impressed with what you see down at the Cedar Creek Mall. There's quite a bit going on down there. The mall's getting a facelift and a new roof, and we got a new owner down here, so things are actually looking pretty good down here. Anyway, while you're listening to the Biggie Outdoor Radio Show, we have a Facebook page as well, Biggie Radio. And we invite you to go on there, leave us some comments and some feedback. Maybe even give us some topics that you'd like to discuss. And we like to get into the controversial stuff. Sometimes we like to talk about new topics, some of the new laws, new things that are passing. We start out the mornings talking a little bit local, and then we expand. So go ahead and jump on our page and let us know what you think. If there's something that you'd like to see, we'll try to get some guest speakers in here. And we will also be having some call-ins in the near future. So go ahead and leave us your feedback on our Biggie Radio fan page on Facebook. And you can also send us an email, biggieoutfitters@yahoo.com. Well, Brandon is actually going to be hosting the show next week by himself, and I'll be actually calling in from Africa. And I will be over there filming a couple of hunts for some other folks. There's actually an outfitter out of Alaska that is coming down to Africa. He's going to be hunting some dangerous game, and we're going to be filming it for him for a television show coming up on Big E TV. So you'll actually be able to watch that. It's all going to be done with archery. So it should be a very, very exciting episode and some pretty cool stuff for you to watch. Hunting a couple of lions and a Cape buffalo, and then we'll hunt some kudu and some other game animals as well. So this should be pretty exciting. And of course we'll be keeping you posted on the Big E Outfitters page, our website, and we have a blog as well. You'll be able to follow along there and see what's going on. And we have Instagram as well. And you can just keep up with our pictures if you'd like to. So we have a lot of different ways that you can follow along and keep up with the action. If you got something that you're specifically interested in seeing us hunt, we're always interested in that too. But you know what? You don't have to watch from the sidelines. We'd be glad to take you along with us. We always have room on our televised hunts, and we'd love to take folks along. So if you're looking for something fun to do, just pop on in here and you'd be surprised what we might be headed out to do next. We just got back from this hog hunt that we were just talking about here, and we had a great time. Took some new folks down there. Took my wife Cheryl down there and got her on her first animal ever. She did some great shooting on some hogs, and took a couple of other young folks down there. Got two young boys that did some shooting down there, and using the night sights, they ended up scoring. Got another young lady that was down there. She killed 5 hogs. And hog hunting is very, very inexpensive and a great way to go out and be able to get the hunting bug out of your system in the off season. So you can check out some of the information on that too as well online. So make sure you stay tuned and check out the sponsors that are supporting us, because they are the folks that are supporting you in the outdoors just by supporting this radio show. They're great sponsors, and we will be right back. Big E Outdoor Radio here on Sports Fan 100.5 right after this.